Hey everybody, Dan here with the Wealth Instinct. I wanted to share with you my article. You have so much potential. Now go do something meaningful with it. Before I get started, if you could subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon so you get notifications. So um, here we have this bird getting ready to leave the nest, right? And that's like what we all need to do, right? You're born into this world and you grow and learn, and then at some point you got to leave the nest and go take on the world. Um, And here I'm talking about having potential versus realizing your potential, right? So you have potential, right? Like that's not a question. Like, and I think a lot of people get stuck because they think, oh, I'm not good enough, or you know, I, I don't have what it takes, or the fact is that like if you're able to read this blog, if you're able to listen to this video, you have incredible, incredible potential to change the world. Like there's no doubt about that. And like and the way I look at it, it's like, if you look at like if you plant a seed, right? Like if you want to grow an apple tree, right? Like you take an apple seed, like there's no doubt in your mind that that apple seed has the potential to grow into a tree and produce fruit, right? But it takes work, right? You got to plant in good soil, you've got to give it water, you've got to give it sunlight. It takes time, it takes a lot of energy and resources um, for that to grow. And you're the same way. Like you have all that potential, but you've got to put in time, energy, and resources, and plant yourself in the right soil to achieve that. Um, and so I think what stops some people is that um, you know you don't feel worthy, you don't feel like you have enough. Um, and when we need a balance, right? We need a balance between people saying you're good enough, you're smart enough, people like you, and get off your butt and go do something, right? Like we all need that balance between like the the nurturing love and the tough love, right? Between like the masculine and feminine energy of like, oh, you're perfect just as you are, and go get a job or go start a business, go make some money. We all need that balance. Um, and if you don't believe you have the potential, well, then you've got to work on believing you have the potential, right? And it takes incremental steps to develop that confidence and to take action. It takes work, right? Like growth isn't automatic. Like I said, it takes time, energy, and resources. And and as you grow and as you do the work and 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 develop and utilize resources, um, then that's going to affect quite a bit how you show up in the world. And then there's this question of, well, what are you going to do with those resources, right? Like I talk about a tree and how when it grows it consumes all this energy, but it also provides, right? And so I think what holds people back a lot is this idea of, is it wrong for me to accumulate wealth? Is it wrong for me to be successful? Like, do I deserve it? And I don't really look at it as a question of deserve. I mean, like to me, the word deserve has serve in it, right? Like you don't exist on a foreign planet, right? Like, or an alien planet. You exist in a community of people, and the more resources you're able to create and produce, the more you're able to contribute, right? Through stimulating the economy, through your spending, through creating jobs, through the growth of your business, through the value that your business provides. You're helping your community and your world, and so the more you're able to be successful, the more you're able to help others, and that's kind of the way I look at it. Um, just like a bigger tree can provide more shelter and it can provide more resources, and I think that analogy applies to us as well. The more we grow, so why does this matter, right? Like, who cares, right? And it's kind of individual. Um, you know, you it might not matter a lot to you, or it might mean everything to you, right? Like so, but whatever it is that you're up to in life, like it's your path, it's your journey, right? And if you started off and had like a really easy life and everything was handed to you and you never had to work for anything, you might not feel really compelled to do much, right? Like you might just be like, well, you know, I didn't have a really tough time growing up and I didn't have really strong examples and role models. So, just gonna have fun and go on travel and do my thing. Um, but if you're someone that struggled a lot and you had to overcome a lot, and if you've really had a major growth journey in your life, like it might mean everything to you to be able to share with others, what it is you struggle with and how you reach that potential. And it's really up to you. It's like, the what is that quote, like the meaning of life is to give life meaning. Um, you've got to make it meaningful and you've got to decide what it means to you. And um, and that's how you become unstoppable, right? Like if you by having a powerful reason to do what you do. So what's next, right? So I think the most important thing is to develop a long-term vision for your life, right? Like, and just think about like the next 20 years. Like, what do you want 20 in the next 20 years? Like, what do you want to experience? What do you want to do? What do you want to create? Um, and and then kind of work your way backwards. Okay, well, what about 10 years from now? What about 5 years from now? What about 1 year from now? Um, what about 90 days from now? What do I need to do today that's going to ultimately get me to that 20-year goal, right? Like, and it might not be a super specific thing, but it could be a general thing of, well, I'm going to learn and grow every day. If that's all you do is you learn and grow every single day, think about how much you're going to learn and grow in 20 years, right? And like you can't even imagine where you're going to be. It's almost like if you're going to go on a hike, right? Like, and you go and you look at the map, the map isn't the hike, right? The picture of the mountain isn't the mountain. You have to kind of imagine it. And even when you get to the trailhead, you can't see the final destination, right? And you can't see everything you're going to experience on the journey. And you can only imagine what it looks like to be at the top and looking down. And you can only imagine what it feels like, right? Like if you take a helicopter and land on the top of the mountain, your experience is very different than hiking up that mountain, right? And you can take the easy way, but then you're not going to value it as much, right? And not only that, but you're not going to grow as much, right? Because it's not about becoming successful. It's not about achieving things. It's about the person you become. And so you can't really see the end result. All you can see is kind of a vision of what you generally want. And I think that vision is powerful because it comes from a place beyond you a little bit, right? Like your imagination, and you're tapping into something bigger, and that can help guide you in what you do today. And what you do today is going to help you get what you want ultimately. And it just comes down to working on yourself and improving yourself physically, mentally, spiritually. Improving your how you relate to other people, and then learning valuable skills. And the valuable skills, there's a lot of different valuable skills you can learn in life, and they change over time. Certain ones are timeless, but there are certain ones that are more valuable at different times, right? And right now, internet online skills are the most valuable. Um, and if you want to start an online business, if you want to connect the world, that's kind of a good place to start. And the best place I found, I've done a lot of different trainings online and followed a lot of different experts. And the one that I've followed the most recently and pretty consistently that I've really kind of aligned with is Jeff Lerner and the Entre Nation. And he just has a way of presenting it in a way that makes sense to me, and it's more than just how to make money. It's more about how to live an awesome life and how to just make the most of who you are and in your relationships, and how to take action and and get the results, right? Like, and so check it out. Click on the link. You can learn more there. And I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon.